The Eastern swing of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship is upon us, and you know that the RacerX Motocross Show is going to provide the coverage. Heck, the FMF High Point National takes place right in our backyard, and there's over 20,000 fans that enjoy the racing in their backyard as well. And we've got all the coverage right here, including the updates in the series, on the racetrack, and everything else you want to know. This is High Point's RacerX Motocross Show. Let's give you the highlights of the 250 class first here from High Point. Coming into this one, Blake Baggett holds the points lead, but we've had 3 different winners in 3 different rounds, with him along with Eli Tomac and Justin Barcia taking victories rolling in here. Early in Moto 1, Barcia picks up where he left off at Colorado, grabbing a great start, battling with his teammate Will Hahn. Barcia would eventually get the lead from Hahn and try to check out from there. Hahn eventually would come under pressure from his teammate Eli Tomac. Ken Roczen, Marvin Musquin were in the mix. But you knew that you'd see Blake Baggett toward the front of the pack in the second half of this race. Baggett would move up to 4th, then Tomac would get around his teammate Hahn to get in a 2nd, then Baggett would pass Hahn for 3rd. Then late in the race, Baggett started going after Tomac for 2nd, but Tomac was stingy. He wouldn't let him by. And then, all alone out front, Barcia had a crash, which put all 3 riders close together toward the end, but the positions would not change. Barcia takes a moto win over his teammate Tomac, who holds off Baggett down the stretch. You thought that one was good? Check out Moto number 2. First, a rare good start from Baggett, who's right there with Barcia Roczen off the start. Roczen would control the race up front, still looking for his first win in U.S. Motocross, would pull away. Meanwhile, Baggett and Barcia put on a fantastic duel for the number 2 spot, but not seen as Tomac, who started way, way back. But that would not last for long. He just started slicing and dicing his way through until he got to 4th and started closing in on the Baggett-Barcia battle for 2nd and 3rd. Baggett saw that, decided it was time to turn it up. He went after Barcia, got into the number 2 position, but then crashed trying to catch Roczen. Then Baggett crashed again and again. 3 crashes in 3 laps, and suddenly Baggett is out of contention for a podium. The man on the move is a 17 of Tomac. He takes that spot when Baggett goes down, then was all over his teammate Barcia to take over 2nd. But with only a few laps to go, Roczen is holding a 9-second lead. But Tomac is mounting an incredible charge while Roczen goes down. That puts Tomac right behind the KTM rider. He makes the pass in the same spot that he got around Barcia to take the lead in dramatic fashion. Eli Tomac, from seemingly nowhere, gets the moto win, and with 2-1 scores, that's an overall as well. Barcia is going to finish 2nd to make it a Honda 1-2, and for the 4th straight week, Ken Roczen finishes 3rd. 450 class, the story coming in was James Stewart's status. You've probably heard he had a big crash last week in Colorado. He did announce right before this race that he was going to give it a shot, despite an injured hand and wrist. He did line up in Moto 1, but he did not get a good start. No surprise who did. Mike Alessi on the Moto Concepts bike leads it early over Andrew Short and Jake Weimer. Quickly Ryan Dungey up to 3rd, then he gets around Short for 2nd. Before he could even battle with Alessi would make a mistake, and that would put Dungey into the number 1 position. As for Stewart, started outside the top 10, started making moves, got to about 5th after passing Brock Tickle and Brett Metcalf, but then his charge sort of stalled. Late in the race, he would close in on Short, but it was clear that Stewart was not 100% on this day, as actually Tickle and Metcalf nearly caught him at the end. He would hold on for 5th to salvage a few championship points, but that's not the kind of finish James Stewart wants. Plus, he felt that it was tough to hold on with that hand. His team decided better of putting Stewart out there in Moto number 2, and he would not line up in that race. Meanwhile, Dungey would grab the whole shot on that one. You figure put Dungey in the lead, well, he's going to win it, right? Well, not so quick. Alessi would actually press and pass Dungey on the first lap and then begin to pull away. A track that has taken so much from Alessi in the past, maybe had an opportunity to come full circle and give him his first overall win since 2009. Until the second half of the race, when Dungey began to, as usual, get stronger, find his line, find his rhythm, and close the gap. He would get around Alessi to take the lead, and from there, Dungey was headed to an overall victory. Alessi, a great performance, though, finished 2nd. That allowed him to move back into 2nd in the standings over Jake Weimer, who was solid again in 3rd with 3-3 scores on the day. Short goes 4-8 for 4th, and Davey Millsaps, welcome back into action after 2 weeks off with injuries, goes 9-4 for 5th. Women's motocross class in action at High Point as well. The big story coming in, Honda's defending class champion Ashley Follick not racing this weekend due to a big crash last week. And then series points leader Jessica Patterson goes down early in Moto 1 on a Rockstar Suzuki. she would cut a swath through the pack, work her way up to a close second, but she would not be able to catch Lucas Oil Curling and Honda's Tara Geiger, who takes the moto win. That's 4 different moto winners early in WMX 2012. In Moto 2, even crazier racing, Sayaka Kaneshiro, that's the teammate for Filek, doing her best to represent Honda, leading this one. Eventually, Geiger and Patterson would get around her, but then they would crash into each other. Geiger stalled the motorcycle, took a little while to get going. Patterson was able to recover in third. She would get around Mariana Balbi, and then Kaneshiro to take the moto win and the overall with 2-1 scores, further extending her points lead. That's it. We're off to Budds Creek in Maryland next weekend. Go to allysports.com for more. After Eli Tomac's jaw-dropping performance in Moto 2, there's really not much you can say, but we'll try to find something with Tomac himself. Okay, we are here with Eli Tomac as semis try to wedge their way out of the pits. Want to see this happen as Team Honda rolls out. Honda Man has won the 250 class. Now, you won in Texas, Eli Tomac, and that was really impressive, but this was unbelievable. Take us through the first moto. You had a great battle, hold up Blake Baggett for second to put you in position for the overall.
Yeah, that first moto, I had to really just push that an entire time and end up hanging on with that. Tongue was in the spokes at the end of the race, but hey, I got across the finish line, so I made it happen. And then second moto, just kept charging, never ever gave up. And Kenny was way out there like Barsha in that first one, but had that little slide out, so I was able to to get him.
The second moto was one of the most unbelievable charges that we've ever seen, and then we saw you on the podium after the race. You didn't seem that tired. So what's the difference between Moto 1, tongue in the spokes, even stronger in Moto 2?
On that first moto, I was kind of nervous. Like my heart rate was kind of up. I'm like, what is going on? And it ended up actually getting a little bit of arm pump there, and ended up blowing. Like I got better as it went on, but I was just kind of tight. And that second moto, I was just flowing. I just never got tight. Never really got tired. Like you said, I actually felt better after the second one than I did the first one.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering how many minutes could you have gone? Could we had an hour second moto, or you just kept on going?
Yeah, I know. I just wanted that win.
What does this mean for the championship here? Now, you're the first guy to get 2 wins. You're obviously made up a few points today. What does it do for your confidence, the whole big picture here?
Yeah, I mean, Blake was pretty far out. I think he was like 22 points from me or something. So, it was good to tighten it up. And, man, it's going to be a good one.
I'd be excited. And one more thing, last year compared to this year, what is the difference? You had a decent outdoor series last year, but obviously 2 wins here, much better. Anything you can point to?
Man, just, I guess, a better me, a better whole team, the bike, just the whole deal is just 10 times better this year. It's awesome.
No doubt about it. All right, Eli Tomac, our winner from High Point. We'll catch you next week in the RacerX Motocross show from Budds Creek. Congrats.
Thanks.